Alright, hello YouTube, it's Pull It Apart Paul again. Alright, we're still on amateur radio at the moment. The focus today is the Kenwood TS50, but this could be a TS570G, it could be TS60, could be many radios in the series. If you've had issues with your radio losing memories, when you power up from a DC source, it automatically turns on without pressing the power button. What else? All your memory settings go back to the default. Well, odds are that you need to replace your memory battery. Today, what I'm going to do is show you how I normally do it. And I haven't done it on this radio. So what I'm going to do is remove the existing memory battery, put in a Renata memory holder, and put in a new battery. This just means that if you need to replace the memory battery again in the future, it's just a pull out, flip in, push in ordeal. Alright, without further ado, we're going to remove all the case screws, handles, brackets, the likes. The memory battery is underneath, so don't need to remove the top cover screws, just the side ones and the bottom ones. Helps to have a bucket, put your screws in, and away we go. Alright, I'll take all the screws out, flip it over, and rejoin when this is ready for the soldering side. Oh, you'll need a solder sucker, you'll need some IPA alcohol, some form of cleaning brush to prepare the surfaces, and away we go. Thank you. Okay, we've opened the radio up. There's the memory battery. And I'm going to desolder the pads here and remove. Now, on a side note, many Australians... Okay, so we've got the unit open. This is the memory battery that we're going to be replacing right here. Okay, so we're going to unsolder both these pads, remove this, and then put in the holder. Now, just on a side note, many of those people who want to Mars cap their radio need to disconnect this diode and one underneath of the board. Now, the issue being with this is that in Australia, the governing body ACMA put a lot of pressure on Kenwood in the later runs of these models because they were very, very popular radios for freebanding. Asked Kenwood to put in fail-safe measures. Now, this is one of those radios. This is very late serial numbers. And what Kenwood did was put in these tamper-proof screws. Now, they initially look like they've just got blobs of solder on, but they haven't. They're actually slotted M2 screws, I think they are, long, and they're really well tightened down. I would say 14 Newton meters down on the board, and there would be one there and one there. Now, I needed to put in a TXCO, the SO2, and the only way that I can get to the bottom board is to remove this top board, because underneath here has a post that goes through the second board through to the base. So I removed these, and a word of warning, they're a bit of a challenge to get out. So you need to use the right tools, not big metalwork pliers and those sorts of things. And it helps to have very small vice grips, because it's very hard to knock components off the board. Alright, here we go. I've warmed up the soldering iron. I'm going to desolder and remove that button battery. It is a bit easier to do one leg at a time, lift the leg and then do the next one. Okay, there we go. That's what it looks like without the battery there. What I'm going to do now is clean it with some IPA, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, all prepped now. What we're going to do is point the positive end up to the top like that. What we're going to do, and it's going to require a two-fingered operation, is line up the corners of this, the outside circle, with the outside of the bracket, and then line them up to the middle of the solder pads on the top and the bottom. And then it's going to be a two-fingered operation and solder the pads at the top and the bottom. Okay, once lined up, I put pressure on the top of this pad with my finger, and I'm going to use my right hand with the soldering iron and point down the solder onto that area there. So really need an extra hand, but we do what we do. Okay, solder pads are in place. I'm just going to give that a clean again with IPA to get rid of any flux that's in the area. Here we go. Okay, job done. And there we go. There's your memory battery holder. And remember, positive goes up, negative goes down. And that's your job. I'll just finish off the video. We've got to go back and power it on and off. I do it around about 6 times. If you don't, these actually don't last very long at all. The current draw is around 1 milliamp. Without doing the cycling, it goes to 0. That other one that was in here, I actually replaced it. I didn't have any holders. The one that I just took out was a new battery, and that died on me over a course of a week. Anyway, the process here is restoring these radios. This is my #1 radio, so it's getting all of the upgrades first. All right, thank you. I'll just put the covers back on. Okay, back on, cycling on and off. Right, now how I can tell if this has worked. We go into F-lock, into our menu, change D1 to D2 to D1, change our RF, their ALC to fast. We'll do that. And now what I'll do is disconnect from the rear, reset. I'm on video, that's why it's doing it. Alright, it's stayed fast. The other thing that I need to check is this side of things, and we go in and go into the memory. There we go. We turn it off. Disconnect the power. Put the power back in again. Okay, and for the first time it didn't turn back on again when I plugged it in, which is correct. And there we go. The memories didn't get cleared, and that's how we know that it's all worked quite well. So remember those in VK land, if you see these tamper-proof screws, be very, very careful how you remove them. Okay, you do need clamps. I've got various clamps like this. There's about half a dozen of them. These didn't work. I had to go to a very small but vice grips which don't flex like these. As you can see, they're locked and they're flexing. Okay, so there we go. That's what's different about the Kenwood TS50 in the kangaroo land of VK. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I did too, like taking it. There's another TS50 over and out. This is Pull It Apart Paul. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.